Hey, hello YouTube. It is January 9th, 2022. This is the Harry Thomas Show Weekend Review. The websites are located at harrythomas.info and harrythomasshow.com and harrythomas.club. I'm your host, Harry Thomas. And I just wanted to let you know that there are updated shows available at the Real Harry Thomas Show on Podomatic.com right now. And they will be available after the videos are made for Bitchute.com. So that's where you can find all the uncensored material that I can't tell you about here on YouTube. And that's where the latest news is on the COVID pandemic, and all the other stuff about the New World Order's takeover of the planet and all the ways they do it with their mental psychoses and their mind control techniques and their media corruption. I really break it down over there in the MK Ultra of my 20 years experience of studying the New World Order and their mind control methods, and how they've infiltrated the media with Project Mockingbird. And they use these very sophisticated scientific methods to control people and really get the machine working against itself. And what we've seen is mass psychosis, not only throughout the U.S., but around the world, where it's like 30% of the population is under mind control. And anything that goes against the narrative of their mind control, they lash out violently, some of them. And they'll protect their belief system to their very own destruction and death, even. It's unprecedented, actually, but I report all about that over there at harrythomas.info, the Real Harry Thomas Show. But I appreciate you YouTube listeners over here. You know, the show, Happy New Year, by the way. We're into 2022. This show has come a long way since August over here, and I want to let you guys know what I'm doing now with the shows, and this one included. I got about 4 or 5 different shows going, depending on, sometimes I do just a separate Bitchute video. Sometimes I set out to do a video over here, and if I talk too long, I can't put it up over here. I have to put it up over at Bitchute. So sometimes there's a Bitchute show, there's a YouTube show, there's a Harry Thomas show on Podomatic, there's Real Talk for Real People on Podomatic, and then there's a 5th one now called Truth is Hate on Podomatic. All podcasts. So you can do searches for that. Maybe that'll show up in your countries for any of you having problems with censorship. Or what I'm thinking is the BitChute has got a bad reputation, and I think a lot of countries, in fact, have banned that because not political reasons, but for simply moral objections, because their countries are more political in religious ways, and an open BitChute free speech forum would be offensive to a politically religious country, say for instance India, Hindu, communities, it would probably be religiously offensive to them, a lot of the material on Bitchute. So it's probably got a nationwide block over there, but personally, I don't like any governments, and I don't like organized religion at all. But I like people. I'm a humanitarian. I like people. I like the Hindu people. I love the culture. I love the beliefs. I love the history. I believe in multiple gods and the ancient gods of the Hindu religion. My beliefs might differ a little bit on them. Variations of what others might believe, but about them gods. But you know, it's it's the people. The people are good all over the world. The Japanese people, I'd like to sit down and drink tea with them. I can't sit down like they do, but I've seen the elderly. They got short chairs for the elderly over there in Japan. And so, people like me with bad legs, neuropathy, I have no feeling in my feet. That's why I fell and broke my leg. Tripped over my own 2 feet, as the old saying goes. But anyway, I put out the first Harry Thomas show uncensored. I put out as a special report on how the whole pandemic has been affecting our children. And then the second show just went up today, and I went back to the old original format of the Harry Thomas show in 4 segments. Segment 1, 2, 3, 4, each of them a little over an hour long. The whole show went an hour and a half about. The very first Harry Thomas show, January 23rd, 2005, was 4.5 hours long. So I'm bringing back 4 segments, weekend review shows, and probably will do special reports again like I used to. And now that all the infrastructure is settled, and I spent all of 2021 building the infrastructure, seeing the landscape of what the truth movement is now, and I'm not even sure if I see the full landscape of it. But well, getting a feel, I'm focusing on what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is I'm producing ammunition. Like, this video is ammunition against the New World Order. And every bullet, boom, boom, I'm sending them out on social media. I'm using Google against Google and the corporate fascists that they are. The censorship that they provide. It never used to be like this. It's worse than it's ever been. I mean, there was censorship, don't get me wrong, back in the day. And my original YouTube channel is still up at youtube.com/Harry Thomas info, all one word. And you can join the Harry Thomas group club, the new club over there at harrythomas. You can find it at harrythomas.club, but the link is facebook.com/Harry Thomas info, all one word. My website, harrythomas.info, is banned on Facebook. First time I ever tried to introduce it to Facebook, they said it went against community standards because it was blacklisted a long time ago in 2005 as a website that shouldn't be looked at, I guess. But Facebook has started giving me content removal things, saying, it used to say this post goes against community standards. And now that I put up the Harry Thomas Show page, when I get removal of a post, it says this post comes from a dangerous individual or organization. Yeah, I don't know, Google. You own it over there. I don't know what Zucky's doing with the meta tag thing or what kind of relationship you have with him. I know you own YouTube, and Insta Scam is owned by Meta now, and Rumble is going on the stock market. I'm on Rumble too, but nobody makes much of a Rumble over there, so I don't pay much attention to Rumble. It's like what YouTube was back in the day. To the Harry Thomas show on Podomatic and Usenet was just a dump site. I made some 4 segment 10-minute videos, but you could only make 10-minute videos back in them days. You know. That's why the first videos here that I made, I didn't know how long I could actually make a video for. That's how long I was out of the loop. I was out of the loop about 10 years or so on YouTube. But yeah, so the focus is going to be on building up HarryThomasClub.com, and it seems like the Real Talk for Real People podcast on Podomatic.com, and I'm going to get that listed like the Harry Thomas Show is listed on all the podcast sites. Because even Google can't remove me easily from there, and all the other ones, iTunes and all that. I'm on sites I never even signed up for because of the RSS podcast feeds, which is why I used them before. And you automatically get listings in search engines and stuff like that. So I'm fighting against the corporate oligarchs on their own platforms for as long as I can. I imagine Podomatic will catch up with me and figure out exactly what I'm doing and what I'm talking about, and decide maybe or maybe not if it goes after against their rules. See, I'm getting up to 13 minutes on this video, and the longer I go, the more of a chance this channel will get shut down. I got 2 strikes over here. They're threatening me to shut me down. But if this channel ever does, I will be around on harrythomas.info. I own them domains, harrythomasshow.com, harrythomas.club, harrythomas.xyz, harrythomasshow.info. I own them. Them are domains that I own. And even if they kick me off my web hosting, I'll find a free another web hosting and I'll set it up again. And if they kick me off Podomatic, there's other pod hosting sites. So that's what they'll do. They'll eventually run me out of here. They already said that nobody who is getting advertising money here on YouTube, which I don't ask for nothing, and I don't set my videos up for that. And I don't ask for nothing. I'm just selling a book or candles or vitamins or nothing. It's all free information. That's all I'm about, and all I ever been about is free information. I'm just a regular guy with a GOD who started the first worldwide garage talk show in 2005 to fight tyranny and corruption and global government. I'm a guy who loves sovereignty. I'm a guy who loves the Republic of the United States. And I'm a guy who wants to preserve our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our freedoms. I'm not a political guy. I'm not a left or right guy. I'm just a freedom-loving guy. And that's all I promote is common sense. Uphold your oath to the Constitution. of enemies, foreign and domestic. And some of our domestic enemies are foreign. They have foreign interests. And they're not the American people like the media is trying to push. And you can't even talk about that. And they've told us here that if your site is making money or advertising, you can't talk about carbon taxes or climate change, anything that goes, at least that goes against the narrative of the Davos group, who said that they were going to integrate the carbon tax with vaccine passports and all that stuff. So it's all going to be in a cashless society control grid that I've been talking about for the last 15 years or better. You know, so not going to be able to talk about the that scam, the climate change stuff. You know, so they warned us about that. I lost access to the old YouTube channel because I lost access to my Yahoo channel. But my login was the name of the username, the name of the channel, Harry Thomas Info, and the password. But apparently they put out a Yahoo email to me, which I don't have that Yahoo email anymore, and I was on MySpace, which I don't know how to get in there. I don't even know how to get back into my old Twitter. I can't get back in there because I don't know what the password was, and I was using Yahoo. I can't get back into Yahoo because I went swimming with my phone. So, anyway, so that's why I can't get back into Harry Thomas Info YouTube channel. And that was the login. So I didn't know that they changed it all. You had to have a Gmail account. You had to have a Gmail email to keep your old channel. But it's still up. It's on the old servers over there, and some of the material is material that they've been censoring. Some of the material is people that kicked off their platform here, but it's still up on my channel, my old channel, for however long. Go ahead and get it out. It ain't gonna do anybody no good just sitting there. Share it. Some good solid stuff over there. I was a member of the old prisonplanet.tv. I got a bunch of stuff over there, mostly some of the stuff from the Info Warrior, Jason Burmis. I like that show, but it's my old shows over there predict the future. Me predicting the future. My Jack Van Imp and Rexzilla, his wife. They named Obama leader of the New World Order one time. I got over 250,000 views before YouTube froze it, before it went viral. One of my shows during the 2008 primary presidential elections, my headline was POWs say John McCain is a lying skunk. Again, it got up to about 250,000 views, and YouTube froze it out. And so we've been in this battle with YouTube for a long time. I've sat there and watched them messing with the views on this channel, and seen them knock views out, change views around right before my very eyes. I don't know what all that's about. I really don't, but I just let it ride, man. Let it ride, do what I can. So what I do is I put out information. I put out different shows, I got social media that I build up, and I got followers and um, whatever, friends, about 25,000. One of them, yeah, they took away 5,000. And then they took away my mother's account for posting my show. My 80-year-old mother. They deleted her Facebook account for posting my show. And they didn't even let her take mug shots to keep her account. At least when they go to close one of my Facebook accounts, I at least get to take mug shots. And I challenge every one of their decisions, by the way. Sometimes they say, do you want to challenge? And then they don't even have the button active. Well, they don't anymore because I challenge them. Now their buttons aren't active on my when they take a post down. They say, oh, do you want to challenge it? But the button's never active anymore because they know I will. But they do take counts down. But I got 4 active right now with 5,000 each because that's all they allow friends. And so I'm pumping out to 20,000 there. And I've got Twitters and I've got Insta scams. And I've opened up Reddit. I got banned on TikTok. But I got a couple backups on TikTok that I got some new. I'm gonna be shooting again. So all this, these shows are ammo, and every view is a hit, and every mind changed is a victory. And that's how I look at it in this info war, in the information war, on this war on our minds. That's how I look at it. Is every view is a target, and every mind is a victory. And all I'm doing here is making ammunition and just boom, 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 boom. One mind at a time. One mind at a time. Because the only way we're going to win against these elitists, against these global New World Order psychopaths who want to call the earth, according to the Georgia Guidestones, is one mind at a time. Because you got 30% of the population. Forget about them. They're a puny little bunch. We can round them up in one school bus probably and haul them off to jail. But we'd have to track them down through several shell organizations and bust into their oh God, their, I don't know what you would call it, their mansions in the South Pacific. They're probably all holed up there behind giant walls. But once we get their minions, they'll be ineffective anyway. No matter how much money they have. They won't have any power. Their money ain't the power. The power's in the mind. That's why we got to get to the 30% of the population that bought into it through the mind control that they've set up. They're very scientific people. And don't count them wrong, man. The New World Order, Illuminati, Deep State, Cabal, whatever you want to call them, it's all semantics to me. But the ruling class, they're very sophisticated, very smart people, and they're using scientific dictatorship on us, and they use mind control, and they brought the scientists back here from Nazi Germany after World War II through Project Paperclip. And Nazis have been, setting up. You want to talk about infrastructure? They set the infrastructure up here after World War II and set it up, though, for New World Order to take over for their global government and their globalism for a one world government. That's why they set up the United Nations right here in New York City, and the World Court, and the World Police, and World Financial Institutions of the World Bank. And we got, NORAD and the, what do they even call it? You got UNICEF programs and NATO. all these free trade agreements in the corporation sectors, open borders here in the United States anyway. Biden surrendered the United States to the New World Order. And so we're exposed to globalists. We're run by the globalists. They just handed this country over to the globalists. And that's why everything is out of sorts. It's all insane. So we got 30% of the population that bought into it, and they're just going to go along with whoever their so-called experts of the ABC organizations and the media tells them to. And whatever the corporations say, we're the saviors. We're to buy our products. Be a good consumer. Consume. Chomp, 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 chomp. So that 30%, they're lost. We're just conspiracy theorists that are crazy. And no matter what data or facts that we could show them, they're living in a delusional mental illness state of psychosis that'll never change. And then you got 40% of the population that are just sheep. They go to work, they watch Family Guy, they got their family, their kids to try and support. They just want to drink their beer, watch their freaking football, be left alone by the government for the most part. And they watch what goes on at work and stuff, and they don't want any hassle. They see the people who make noise, and they see what happens to their lives, and they just follow along with whoever. And because them 30% bought into it so more, they hold all the top positions. They're the climbers of the corporate ladder. They're the ones who are the busybodies, They're the one, they bought into it. They're the authoritatives now. They're in authority now. They're winning. They're winning. They're the ones who get their egos stroked. They're the ones who are told how smart they are and how they're excelling in their fields. And, they get all the breaks because they make all the right decisions and they repeat all the right narratives. And they don't question, They went through all the right brainwashing things. They listen to all the right professors. And they get advanced. And the people who don't, do what they do and adopt the beliefs that they believe, they're shunned. And they're not very smart. Them are the people that everyone considers dumb and crazy. So them 30% lead the herd of 40. And then you got the 30% of us that are awake. And then maybe 10% of us have balls enough to actually stand up and lose our friends and lose our jobs and lose our reputations and have our credentials ridiculed and slandered and have ourselves thrown in jail and set up and some of us murdered to top whistleblowers. And you got guys like Edward Snowden that get run around and have to find asylum. So that's the state of the world we're in. And it's up to you to decide what percentage do you want to be. Are you in the 30% and ain't have the balls yet to make some noise? How many freaking beers and Family Guy episodes are you going to waste your time on? Come on, the football is all rigged anyway. People are more into fantasy football than they are the real football. Because it's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. Anybody with half a brain in them 30%, the lower 30% I'm saying. The cynics. That's why I got this show. Because you don't believe anybody that's got credentials after your name. You don't believe anybody in the mainstream media. You don't trust your government officials. You don't trust anybody anyway on TV. So the only one that you're actually probably might listen to just because you're bored maybe, or because this is something that you ain't seen on TV, is me, if you happen along it. And I'm saying, dude, it's time, man. They're going to wipe us out. I got kids and grandkids too, man. They're after us. We got to do something. At least share. At least start sharing the ammo. I'm willing to put my life on the line. At least share the ammo. What, are you going to lose some Facebook friends? Who cares? Let them block you. Are you going to lose your Facebook account? Who cares? Is Facebook real? That's the thing, man. People think, they act like Facebook's real life. He unfriended me. Oh, who cares? You know, I've been unfriended so many times, but I'm still friends with them in real life. You know, people block me, but they still talk to me in real life. I blocked my buddy John D, on Facebook because he's an asshole on Facebook. But I still talk to him in real life. It's nothing personal. I what is that you know, unfriend somebody, you unfollow them. I follow a ton of people because they're just idiots, and I like them better not knowing what they're doing on Facebook. But Facebook isn't real. It's not real life. It's like some people, oh, it's not even official, the relationship, until you change your status. It's silly. Real life is real, man. Like, really, what's going on is we're poisoning people, and we're eating food and water that, you know, is degraded. We could do a lot better, man. Our sanitation systems around the world, our, you know, our sustainability, so-called sustainability problems, where there's examples in South America where they're building high rises and each floor is hydroponic farms growing different crops to sustain the um, communities they're in. I don't even know if I slipped up. See, I'm 32 minutes. I don't care anymore. I don't care if this channel is getting attention from 18 and 30-year-old men, um, from 18 to 30-year-old Hindu men whose probably second language is English, who came from them 20,000 that I post to on Facebook, where 5,000 are in the Hindu nations that are probably blocked from my uncensored shows. And I appreciate your viewership. But I don't know if you're laughing at me or you just are relieved that somebody in the U.S. who still has Second Amendment rights, don't tread on me, is awake, and we're over here trying to do something about it. Or you think it's a comedy show. Either way, I don't care. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing it. Because if that one mind comes along, it's a victory. And that's all I'm doing. One mind at a time. And they're trying to divide us. They're trying to conquer us with the left-right fraud. It's the state versus us. They're trying to divide us with these race wars. We're not a racist nation in the United States. It's very few white supremacists. They don't mean anything. I mean, they do mean anything. They don't mean anything to the big population. They're not. They're not influencing us as a whole, as a population, as a nation. There's no hate the way they say there is. We're getting along fine in the workplaces. We're getting along fine in the communities. We're integrated, okay? The South is come a long way from what they used to be in integration. So we've come a long way from the Martin Luther King days of 1964 and Martin and Malcolm X. But their message is still valid. We still got a lot of work to do. But not as black nationalism, but as United States sovereignty, about standing together now as a nation, united. And that's what their message was. It wasn't black and white. It was, you know, get your communities. And at the time, it was the black community. And it was at the time the black community suffering and needing of civil rights in this country, and needing of the laws, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 passed to level the playing field and to right wrongs that were going on, and to continue that and their progress, and that set in motion a lot of progress today, and it opened the door for a lot of success in the African American community. And I don't even like saying that politically correct. In the black community, they were calling their people Negroes. I play the clips of the speeches, and that's politically incorrect. My mother always called them colored people, and that was her generation. And they actually have an organization, the National Organization for the Advancement of Colored People, I think. But whatever, it's all semantics. And all this politically correct shit is there to divide us. There's no Asian hate. That guy was after prostitutes in a massage parlor that just happened to be owned and operated by Asians. It was the happy endings. It wasn't the race. NPR, all they talk about is race and transgender ID and making up new genders. And are you crazy? Is this whole world going crazy? Science has gone out the window. Science has gone out the window. But if you're on the fence, get off the fence before we're all doomed and they cull the population and we don't have a 30% and 40% to work with anymore. But right now we do. If we turn this tide, boy, we could be a force and win. And then we could build back and start, doing and rectifying the damage. Right now, we're in the jaws of the beast right now. And they're about to swallow us whole. It's up to you. Do we exercise our rights that our founding fathers gave us? Or do we let them get swallowed up by this authority? It's up to you, America. The world is looking to us. We're the ones that were afforded rights by our founding fathers to step up against tyranny. Because they knew that when we do, we will make a difference. I want to thank you for listening, YouTube.